Ball is picked up by Kudus. Knocks the ball back to the centre of West Ham's defence. Wan-Bissaka in plenty of possession. Just being closed down there by Son. West Ham trying to play the ball out from the back. They've done well there to keep the ball. Now the loose ball has been picked up by Spurs, but now the referee has given a free kick for Spurs. Right in the centre of the pitch, just to the left of the centre circle. Free kick is taken quick and short by Bissouma. Now knocked out by Romero. Now Spurs' right flank here. It's an early opportunity, but the goalkeeper wins the race there, and he needed to. Areola just getting in front of Dominic Solanke there. Nice through ball. And if the weight of the ball, if it was just a little bit less, that would have been perfect for Solanke to have had a one-on-one opportunity. But the goalkeeper just wins the race there and prevents Spurs' first effort on goal. Danger still not over yet for West Ham. Searching ball from the right wing is knocked out for a corner kick. So we've got our first corner of the game here. Looks as if it will be Dejan Kulusevski to take the corner from the right flank for Spurs. Packed crowd here in London. Just waiting for this corner kick to come in. It's actually taken short and quick, but not very well taken there, and West Ham are more than equal to it, and they've just managed to force a throw-in. Not the best of corners there for Spurs. Just around 2.5 minutes into the game here. Listening to Matthew Rhodes here for Flash Score. So if you're unable to watch this game, if you're at work or on your travels and unable to watch the game, don't worry. You can listen to this game live through our commentary here, so you'll not miss a thing between Spurs and West Ham. Another throw in here. Just diverted off, I thought it came off Bowen last. It did actually come off a Spurs player last, so the throw in will be taken by West Ham. Kept the ball down this right flank, but now Spurs pick up the loose ball in the centre of the pitch. Right in the centre circle here. Romero passes the ball out forward to Kulusevski. That's nice from Spurs, still controlling the ball down the middle. Takes a big deflection. Now the ball will go out on this left flank. Spurs will take the throw in here. Udogie takes it short, finds Son. Now knocking it back to the defence here, now to Van de Ven. Romero, inside the centre circle, finds Maddison. Looking for support here. Finds Son, quick 1-2, back to Maddison. Now Bissouma passes the ball out to the right of the centre circle. Now finds Romero, looking for options, finds Bissouma in the middle. Picks up the loose ball here. Now Kulusevski, looking for some space here in the centre. He's about 40 yards away from the goal line, but he's done well here and he's made up about 10 yards and switches to the left of centre, but it's not best of balls from Udogie to try and find Son. The let off there for West Ham. Ball goes out and Wan-Bissaka, the former Manchester United player, will take the throw in well inside West Ham's own half here on the right flank. Just coming up to about 4.5 minutes played here. Still looking for the first chance of the game. Closest we've come so far is when Areola just won a race to the ball ahead of Solanke, preventing Solanke with a really good goal-scoring opportunity. Spurs now in possession here. Nice little 1-2 down the right flank. Now they build the ball to the centre of play. Son picks up the ball on this left flank, about 10 yards away from the edge of the penalty area, but the referee has brought it back. Can only assume that's for an offside there, as Postecoglou looks on. He'll certainly be looking for a response, of course. In Tottenham's most recent game, they were 2-0 up away against Brighton and Hove Albion and somehow fell to a 3-2 defeat when they were completely in control in that game. In the match before that, Spurs won away from home in the New Look League stage of the Europa League. They picked up a 2-1 victory away at Ferencváros. When we do have a break in play, of course, we'll just run through any other latest scores elsewhere that's happening of note. And of course, let you know what games are to come later on today as well. It's a packed day of football, of course, on this Saturday afternoon. Back here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Udogie just tussling there with the West Ham 24, Rodriguez. Just knocks the ball back to the goalkeeper, Areola. lofted ball attempting to go down to the left flank, but it's gone loose, and now Spurs will go for an opportunity here, and it's just flashed across the face of goal. I think we need the reverse angle there just to see how close that was, but Brennan Johnson, who's in fine form, definitely was an attempt at goal, and it flashes wide of the post. The question was, how close was that? Just need a better angle there, but that's certainly the first opportunity of the game from Brennan Johnson. He's in fine form, and after 6 minutes, that was close to being the first goal of the match, but that's certainly the first opportunity we've had, and the closest we've come to a goal so far. Opportunity fell to Johnson, but in the end the attempt was off target here, and Areola very gamely and bravely taking the Spurs forward on there, and just using his skills to go past him. It was a bit risky. Now Spurs playing the ball down the centre here. Comes off a West Ham player before landing at the feet of Son. Now Son plays the ball forward. Kulusevski tries to drill the ball in from the left flank. It comes off Rodriguez last, and it will be a corner to Spurs on the left flank this time. So this is Spurs' second corner of the game. It's going to be taken by Maddison, the England international here. So this will be Spurs' second corner of the game. Just got a slight break here just with our technical stuff. So apologies just for the slight break here. Okay, and we're back on there. Sorry about the slight break there. Nothing to come though from the corner, so it is still goalless here between Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham United. Apologies for the slight break. Bowen on the ball here. Just passing the ball back to the centre of defence through to Debo. Now all the way back to Areola. A bit of an aimless ball, and it goes out of play. Looks as if it'll be Udogie to take the throw-in for Spurs on the left flank inside their own half. Julian Lopetegui just shouting out some orders there to his team. He's under a bit of pressure. It's calmed down a little bit since that victory, that emphatic victory over Ipswich Town in the end in the Premier League before the international break. But before that game, Lopetegui already under some pressure after not the best of starts to the season. Come back to that later as Udogie attempts to play the ball low from the left flank into the penalty area, and again it's cleared away by Rodriguez, and it will be another corner here for Tottenham Hotspur. So this is now their third corner of the game. Maddison will take as we approach the 9th minute of the match. Still goalless here between Spurs and West Ham in this first Premier League game of the day. Plenty more action to come as we await the release here. Now Maddison in swinger, a little bit long, headed away by a West Ham player. It's now collected by the Spurs 23 here, Porro. Deflected off Kudus. It's going to be a throw-in for Spurs, about 15 yards away from the corner flag on this right-hand side. Kudus picks up the ball here, but he's got a big tussle on with two Spurs players around him, but West Ham do well to play the ball out from the back. That's really well played there by the Hammers. Now they look to go on the counter here, and it's Paqueta sprints his way down to the centre of the pitch. And now the West Ham 29 picks up the ball here. Wan-Bissaka finds Bowen. Knocks the ball back to Soucek. Now back to the West Ham defence, but they've pushed up forward, up to the halfway line here. Now Bowen, coming up to the edge of the penalty area, drives the ball in from the right-hand side, and West Ham have got a chance. It's a good save there from Vicario. It was Kudus with a shot on target, and it's palmed away by Vicario, the Italian goalkeeper, making a good save there. And that's the first shot on target in the game, and it falls to the visitors. Kudus found space inside the area. To be fair, it is straight at the goalkeeper. It still needed to be pretty good reflexes from Vicario, and he palms the ball over the bar, so the danger not over yet for the hosts. It'll be a corner kick here to come from the right-hand side. It'll be Bowen to take for West Ham. West Ham's first corner of the match comes in swinger. Comes off a Spurs player at first, but the danger's still not over yet. Now it's driven in from the left of centre, but that was pretty aimless and harmlessly rolls out past the line there. The effort was from Emerson. Hard to tell whether that was a shot or an attempt at a cross, but either way, it's a goal kick and it's taken quickly. Spurs now countering here down the right-hand side. Johnson has got support. Johnson trying to waltz past a couple of West Ham players there, including Emerson, but he has the ball stolen off him, and now West Ham can counter themselves here. Soucek just knocks the ball to the right-hand side, finds Bowen just behind the halfway line, looks for support, finds it with the Czech international, Soucek. Now the ball is picked up by Kilman. West Ham just slowing the tempo down just a little bit here, all the way back to Areola. Now Areola plays the ball long, past the halfway line, down the right of centre, whose ball is picked up by West Ham. Bowen now knocks the ball to the right flank here, just tries to find Wan-Bissaka. Still picked up by Bowen. That's a nice little 1-2 between Antonio and Bowen. Bowen's got a little bit of space to work into, but that's well collected by Yves Bissouma. Now the ball is collected by Son. Ball, has it gone over the line? Yes, the assistant referee has deemed that the whole of the ball has gone over the line. So it's going to be a throw-in to Spurs here. Just behind the halfway line. It's going to be taken by Udogie. Quick throw out to Van de Ven. Now to his central defensive partner here, Romero. Romero plays the ball out quickly. No drop in tempo here from Spurs' perspective. And Kulusevski goes down. Foul by Rodriguez. Nothing malicious, but it is clearly a trip and correct decision by the referee. So it's a free kick for Spurs. Just to the right of the centre circle here. Taken quick and short then. Now with Udogie on the left-hand side of Spurs' defence. Back to Van de Ven. Now Romero to the right of the centre circle. Every Spurs outfield player inside West Ham's own half here. Van de Ven. Now to Udogie. Looks for support. Finds it with Maddison. Now Maddison finds Romero. Romero looks for support, goes back to Van de Ven inside the centre circle. Now Maddison, just Spurs gradually gaining a little bit more territory. They've had most of the possession so far in this game. We're about 14 minutes in. Romero plays the ball down the middle. Finds Solanke, just dropping a little bit deep. Now Spurs have the opportunity to cross the ball in from the right wing. Johnson finds Kulusevski. Has got space for a shot. He tries to have a shot, I think, and it's immediately blocked, but Spurs pick up the loose ball. Udogie has the ball on the left flank here, finds support through Maddison. Now Maddison tries to thread a through ball to Son. Again, it's a loose ball and it's picked up by Spurs. Ball goes out for a throw, and it comes off Maddison last to his frustration there. So West Ham have won a throw inside their own half here, well inside their own half on the right flank. So still 0-0. Best opportunity of the game so far, and the only shot on target so far has fallen to the visitors. It was a decent save from Vicario to deny Mohamed Kudus, the Ghanaian international. Spurs driving forward again here on the right. Johnson, nice right wing delivery. It's initially headed away by the West Ham defence, but the danger's not over yet. West Ham player goes down. Referee says no foul. Son finds support with Udogie. Udogie plays the ball down along the ground here. Now Bissouma decides against the shot. Passes to Son. Son will go for the shot, and it's just just wide of the post there. That wasn't too far away. And I think that's definitely Spurs' best opportunity of the game so far after 16 minutes. Nice little pass there from Spurs. Finds Son. He weaves past one player. Finds himself with a little pocket of space to get the shot in. And ultimately it's off target. And flashes wide of the post, much to Areola's relief. But that's Spurs' best effort so far. Still looking for their first attempt on target. Still looking to test Areola in goal. Spurs on the attack again. Son getting into a similar position here. Walters past one. Tries to go past two. In the end, he has the ball taken off him fairly. Now West Ham look to... I think it's Antonio just bulldozed down there by Udogie. as Antonio looked to start a quick counter-attack for West Ham, and Antonio wins the free kick for the visitors. Just a reminder of the 3 p.m. games to come in the Premier League. Of course, they're all being covered on Flash Score as well. Fulham versus Aston Villa, which incidentally is being commentated by myself as well, so I'm going to need a couple of glasses of water, I think, in between this match and the Fulham Villa game. Also to come, Ipswich Town versus Everton, Manchester United versus Brentford, Newcastle United versus Brighton and Hove Albion, Southampton versus Leicester City, and at 5:30 p.m, AFC Bournemouth versus Arsenal. We've got another corner then for Spurs. Again, it's another clearance from Rodriguez. He's been very busy so far in this first half. So it's going to be another corner for Spurs on the left flank. It's going to be Maddison to take once again. This is Spurs' 4th corner of the match already. We're only into the 17th minute as opposed to West Ham's 1 corner so far. Plenty of bodies in the box here, not just in the 18-yard area, but in the 6-yard area too. It's an in-swinger, but that's a pretty poor corner, it has to be said, and it's claimed very comfortably by the hands of Alphonse Areola. It's about 18 minutes in then. Spurs, a couple of minutes ago with their best opportunity of the game. Effort from Son, just going wide of the target. West Ham's best effort, a header on target from Kudus, which was palmed away by Vicario. Kudus finds some space here, and now West Ham have managed to find a bit more space on this left flank. Just cuts the ball back. Kudus with a searching ball finds Bowen inside the penalty area. Then the shot in the end from Wan-Bissaka, but it's well blocked by the Spurs defence. Danger not over yet. Bowen finds a pocket of space here inside the penalty area, and he finds space for Kudus to find the target and find the back of the net, and West Ham have taken the lead here at a shell-shocked Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's Mohamed Kudus with the goal, and he celebrates by sitting on a stool in front of the advertising board, right in front of the Spurs supporters, and the West Ham away support going crazy right now, and it's West Ham with the first goal of the game. Bowen did really well to find space just to play a ball across the face of goal here. So initially he slipped, then Wan-Bissaka had a shot which was blocked. The loose ball in the end picked up by Bowen, ends up going past Udogie, plays the ball across the face of goal. Udogie manages to find a yard ahead of his marker. Not the best of defending from Spurs, it has to be said, but Kudus makes the most of it, and he finds the back of the net this time. Both shots on target in this game have been from Kudus, and this one finds the back of the net here. So Vicario is beaten. Kudus finds the back of the net, and it's Tottenham Hotspur 0, West Ham United 1. It's Mohamed Kudus with the goal after 19 minutes here. Can Spurs respond quickly? They're already driving down this right flank, but they've had the ball stolen off them there. It's well defended by West Ham. Will now be a throw-in to the visitors. Quick shake of the head there from Ange Postecoglou. Not happy with what he's just seen, and it has to be said, it wasn't the best of defending. Bit of lax marking that allowed Kudus a yard of space to get the shot on target. This time he finds the back of the net. So if you've just tuned in, we've had our first goal of the game, and it's Tottenham Hotspur 0, West Ham United 1. For any fancy Football League players out there, the goal scored by Mohamed Kudus, the assist from captain Jared Bowen. Spurs looking for a quick response. Maddison has the ball about 30 yards out, finds Kulusevski in space here. West Ham defence just about able to pick up the loose ball, and it's cleared away by Bowen, but only finds Kulusevski. Lofts the ball in from the left flank, tries to find Johnson, but can only find the gloves of Areola. Just got a slight break in play here. Just seen replays of Johnson going down. He's hobbling a little bit. Seems to be okay to continue. Play has resumed. Udogie with the ball. Knocks the ball back to Vicario. Vicario plays the ball to the right of centre. Now Johnson. Looks as if he's fine now. Just plays the ball back to Romero. Now Van der Ven to the left of the centre circle. Plays the ball forward about 15 yards. Now inside West Ham's own half. Now Son has got an opportunity to play the ball in from the left flank. Not the best of deliveries though, and it's cleared away by West Ham. Ball has gone out of place. West Ham have not been able to prevent a Spurs throw-in. Looks as if it's going to be Udogie to take. Just seen a quick stat come up that West Ham United have not dropped any points from winning positions yet this season in the Premier League. Obviously Spurs will be hoping that will change this afternoon. Son plays the ball to Maddison on the left of centre. Back to Son on this left flank. Back to Maddison. Maddison finds Van der Ven in space. It's about 40 yards away from the goal line. Back to Maddison. Now back to Son. It's a good approach play from Spurs. If just not been able to show a killer instinct once they get into that final third and into that penalty area. That could change very quickly though, and it's a decent ball in from the left flank, and it's headed away by a West Ham defender. It's another corner for Spurs, so I think this is their 5th one of the match. Johnson almost gets his head onto it, but it takes the final touch that comes off the head of Emerson. So it's going to be corner here, and it's going to be Pedro Porro to take from this right flank this time for Spurs. Out swinger, headed away by Rodriguez. He's had a good game so far for West Ham. Udogie, now Maddison, about 35 yards away from the goal line. Goes past the West Ham player there. Attempts to play the ball down the middle. Takes a big deflection off the West Ham player, and the ball lands gratefully into the hands of Alphonse Areola. Now Spurs pick up the loose ball here. It's a heavy first touch from Bissouma, and it's now collected by West Ham. Ball falls to Paqueta. Now Wan-Bissaka. That's good play from West Ham. Bowen finds space down this right flank here, just coming under some pressure from Udogie. Bowen now finds Kudus. Bit of a heavy touch there from Kudus, but Bowen is just able to keep the ball in. About 5 yards away from the byline on this right flank. That's good approach play from West Ham. Kudus has the ball on the edge of the penalty area. He's got about 3 Spurs players around him, but he's done well to keep the ball. Paqueta plays the ball square. Finds Kilman. Plays the ball back to the centre circle. Ball lofted down the right flank, but that's played too heavily. Far too much weight on that, and it sails over the head of Bowen. So Spurs will take the throw in. Short and quick. Already now with Romero. Just about 25 yards away from his own goal line. Bissouma plays the ball back square to Romero as he approaches the halfway line. Now Van der Ven. Now going about 10 yards over the halfway line inside West Ham's own half. Plays the ball out left to Son. Looking for his options here. Plays the ball back to Van der Ven. Now passes square to Romero. It's about 35 yards away from the goal line on the right of centre. Quick 1-2. Romero now finds Bissouma. Back to Romero. Porro. Johnson. Back to Porro. Decent spell of maintains possession here from Spurs as they look for a response in this game, as they look to go back onto level terms. Porro will go for goal here from about 35 yards out. Ambitious, but is able to win a corner. Again, it's that man again, Rodriguez, with the block. He's done that constantly all game so far. The corner is taken quick and short on this right flank. Now it's delivered in here. Takes a deflection off a West Ham defender. Son picks up the loose ball. He's about 12 yards out. Could he get a shot in? He does, but it takes a big deflection. It's going to be another corner for Spurs. I think this is now their 7th of the game, I think. The shot in the end, Son just able to get the shot in. Can't see which West Ham player it was that actually got the final touch, but it was a good block. And it'll be Maddison again to take this corner from the left flank here as we move into the 26th minute of the game. In swinger from Maddison. Oh dear, not the best of deliveries. Has to be said, Spurs' corners haven't been of a great quality so far. And that was probably the worst of the lot, it has to be said. Just finds no one. Sails out for a goal kick, and Areola will take his time. Just have a quick look and see what else is happening in some of the games already taking place. So, in the Women's Super League, it's currently Brighton and Hove Albion women 0, Manchester United women 1. In the Championship, 4 games are already in action. They started at the same time as this game here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's currently Cardiff City 2, Plymouth Argyle 0, Luton Town 1, Watford 0, Oxford United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, and Preston North End 0, Coventry City 0. So whenever we do have a little break in play, we'll of course let you know what else is happening elsewhere in some of the other games going on around the country. Back here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Spurs back in possession once more inside West Ham's own half. Solanke just running out of space, but the ball's been picked up by Basuma. Now Son on this left flank. Nice little ball here to Udogie. Plays the ball across the face of goal, and it's headed somehow wide of the target. Brennan Johnson, the man in form, can't believe he's not scored yet, or at least found the target. His header somehow sailing wide of the target. It was a great ball from Udogie, and how has that not found the back of the net there? Has it actually come off his shoulder there? I think he's actually somehow, the ball has managed to miss his head altogether. Or it's taken a deflection off a West Ham player. Now the corner comes in, headed away by West Ham. Now headed back into the area by Spurs. Trying to get some space here. Oh, it's Solanke trying to find a pocket of space. And again, it takes a vital deflection right at the last ditch by West Ham. And it's another corner for Spurs. I mean, this is the 9th of the game, I think, already. They're averaging a corner about once every 3 minutes at the moment. Yep, it's their 9th corner of the game. It's been confirmed to me in the background. Corner comes in, out swinger. Just manages to evade everyone, but it's collected by Maddison along the edge of the penalty area. It's a improvised sort of acrobatic effort by Solanke. Technically, I think that's a shot on target, but it's very slow and it's collected easily by Areola. So good pressure from the hosts just within the last 5 minutes of the game, but still 1-0 to the visitors. And it's the man on the ball now who has the only goal of the game so far, Mohamed Kudus. Finds space in the centre of play. That's a nice pass out onto the right flank. Wan-Bissaka tries to get the delivery in, and this time it's now a corner to West Ham. Son with the last touch. And so it will be a corner from the right flank here for West Ham as we approach the half-hour mark. Still Spurs 0, West Ham 1. Kudus with the only goal of the game so far. Spurs coming close so recently. Brennan Johnson, well, I thought initially it was a header from him. It actually came off the shoulder, I think, of the West Ham defender just ahead of him. That prevented Johnson from finding the back of the net. Referee just needing a few words here with West Ham and Spurs players. A few pushes and shoves going on in the 6-yard area. Big moment here for Spurs. They need to defend this well. Corner comes in, and it has to be said, pretty poor corner. Finds no one, and it rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick for Vicario to take. And he takes it quick and short. Van der Ven moves the ball out of his own penalty area, then gains about 15 yards, finds Son. The loose ball is picked up by Wan-Bissaka. Quick 1-2 with Bowen. Knocks the ball back here. Antonio sitting deep on that right flank. Finds Soucek, and now he knocks the ball all the way back to Areola. Now West Ham on the left side of the defence. Plays the ball down the centre. Picked up by Kudus. Goes past Son. This ball played by the Ghanaian international. Now plays the ball to the left-hand side as West Ham venture into Spurs' own half. The loose ball is picked up well by Porro. Needs support and finds it with Kulusevski. Bissouma plays the ball down the middle for Maddison. That's better from Spurs. Now Johnson plays the ball inside the penalty area, almost finds support from Kulusevski, but the loose ball is picked up by West Ham. They clear the ball away, and now the ball is picked up by Spurs, and they've got the opportunity to thread the ball square on the right wing, but Johnson not able to reach the ball in time. That will be a goal kick for Vicario to take. So we now move into the 32nd minute of the game. Just tell you, by the way, in the Championship, it's now 1-0 to West Brom away at Oxford. In League One, 2 games underway. It's currently Reading 1, Crawley Town 1, and it's goalless between Wycombe Wanderers and Peterborough United. And in the one game that's live at the moment in League 2, it's currently Accrington Stanley 1, Barrow 0. Back here in London, we've just got a Spurs player down on the turf. It looks as if it's Maddison, just clutching the left side of his face. We need a replay here to see exactly what's happened, because I didn't catch that myself in terms of what's forced Maddison to the ground. Still just holding the left side of his face here. Referee just having a quick chat with the captain and also to Maddison. Still not sure as to the exact nature of what happened there. Well, players continued anyway. We'll have to have a look back on that later. But Maddison looks fine to continue. He's okay. So, play in progress. Spurs with the ball on this left flank. Only a couple of yards away from the byline. That's well played by Spurs. Now Son collects the ball. Can he deliver the ball in from the left? Needs support, and he finds it with Van der Ven. Now Romero. Quick 1-2. Romero with the ball about 35 yards away from the goal line. Another quick 1-2. Back to Romero once more. Finds Kulusevski. Now on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Son. Can he deliver the ball in from this left flank? Goes past one player. It's an attempted cross here. It takes another deflection. This is Spurs' 10th corner of the game. And it's now taken very quickly by Son this time. They don't wait for Maddison. Kulusevski plays the ball to Maddison, who's about 20 yards out on the left of centre. Plays the ball square. An attempt here for Spurs. Oh, and it's palmed away and just gathered in the end by Alphonse Areola, who just reaches the ball and gathers in a nick of time, because Dominic Solanke, I think, was ready to reach the ball. The shot itself was from Pedro Porro. Took a deflection off a West Ham defender. It's actually a good save, that, when you look at the reverse angle, because it was a tough deflection. Is in terms of the goalkeeper, it really changes the angle of the ball, and he actually does well to save the ball. And then he just gathers it just before Solanke is able to tuck home what would have been a pretty straightforward rebound. So still 1-0, but Spurs knocking on the door here as we approach the 35th minute. Now they've got an opportunity through Johnson to play the ball from the right flank into the centre of the pitch. It's another deep clearance from West Ham. Goes over the byline, and now this is Spurs' 11th corner of the first half. We've played 34.5 minutes, and this is Spurs' 11th corner of the game. It has to be said, none of the corners so far have seriously troubled West Ham. Could all change in a second though. It's an outswinger from the right flank, headed away by West Ham's defence initially. Kudus looking to play the ball out here, and has managed to win a free kick. Foul committed by Maddison for a bit of shirt pulling, bit of shoving there onto the back of Kudus. And so West Ham survive another corner, and they'll just take their time here and just drop the tempo a little bit, because Spurs have been knocking on the door here, certainly within the last 5 to 10 minutes for this equalizer. No substitutions so far in this game. We've had no injuries that have forced any player to come off the field of play. Free kick taken by West Ham then. Goes long down the left of centre, whose ball is picked up well by Spurs. And now they can counter quickly here down the middle of play. And they're now surging in here. Maddison plays the ball to Kulusevski. Has he got some space here to drive the shot in? Yes, he does. Oh, and it's gone in off both posts. And it's 1-1. And it's Kulusevski with the goal for Tottenham Hotspur. An incredible equaliser. It goes in off both posts before the whole of the ball crosses the line. And it's Kulusevski with the equaliser. And it has to be said, that's a deserved equaliser for Spurs. Kulusevski with the goal and with the equaliser then for Tottenham. Looking forward to seeing this replay here on my monitor. Because at first I thought, incredibly, it was going to somehow stay out. But it actually goes in off both posts. So Kulusevski goes past one player from about 15 yards out. It's tipped onto the post initially by Areola. So it hits his left-hand post. And then it bounces about a yard in front of the goal line. But then the spin of the ball forces the ball to then hit the other post. And the spin takes it over the line. Don't see many goals like that. Quite a unique goal there, but it is the equaliser. And you have to say it has been coming. And Spurs have brought the game back onto level terms through Dejan Kulusevski. It was a very quick counter from Spurs down the middle. And Kulusevski managed to move to the left of his West Ham marker. He got some space, drove the ball in. And initially it was tipped onto the post by Areola. And then the spin of the ball forces the ball to hit the other post. And it just goes over the line, the whole of the ball. And it's 1-1 then. Kulusevski with the equaliser. We're back onto level terms. So if you're just listening here, if you've just tuned in to Flash Score, you're listening to Matthew Rhodes here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And it's now Spurs 1, West Ham 1. So Spurs now looking to play the ball out from the back here, just following a little bit of West Ham pressure. Coming into the 38th minute now of the game. Now Kulusevski looking to find some space on the right of centre once more, but this time it's covered well by West Ham. Emerson now in the centre of play. Finds Antonio. That's a bit of a heavy ball there to Kudus, and Spurs are able to pick up the loose ball. So it's 1-1 here in this first Premier League game of the day on this mid-October afternoon. Van de Ven with the ball in the centre of the Spurs defence. Now with Romero, plays the ball over the halfway line. Now Spurs will venture down this right flank here. Now it's well played. They're going to reach the ball before it goes over the byline. It's played square and it's cleared away by the West Ham defence. And Spurs now knocking on the door to get into the lead, and it's well cleared away by Wan-Bissaka, the former Crystal Palace and Manchester United player. Well cleared away. Just approaching the 40th minute now, and the Spurs fans really like what they've seen, particularly in the last 10 minutes of the game. Floated in from the right wing from the throw-in. Again, apologies for the froggy throat there. Cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. Maddison. Now back to Maddison once more on the right of centre. Finds support from Romero. It's about 30 yards away from the goal line. Floats the ball into the left-hand side here, just towards the edge of the penalty area. Son finds support from Kulusevski. Kulusevski's got support here. He actually goes for the shot himself, but it's blocked straight away by a West Ham defender. The ball goes a long way up in the air before landing back at the feet of Son. Now Bissouma plays ball square to the middle. Maddison. That's a nice ball to Son once again. Tries to find space and support here to put Udogie through. That's defended well by the visitors, but the long ball is won by Bissouma. Spurs having a lot of possession here in the last 10 to 15 minutes, and they're really beginning to make it count. Romero plays the ball down the middle, and is it an opportunity for Spurs to put Kulusevski through again? No, it isn't. The spin of the ball ensures that Areola is able to win that race there, and he gratefully receives the ball in his hands. 5 minutes to go then, plus any stoppage time here in the first half. And Antonio, that's good play from Antonio, uses his skills to go past Van de Ven. And Van de Ven still tracking him back here, and the last touch of the ball from Antonio, a bit too heavy, and the ball goes over the byline. So it'll be a goal kick for Spurs to take through. Vicario, good tempo to this game, not really many breaks or stoppages in play at all. Been a nice flow to this game, I have to say. So I know referees come under so much criticism so far. Referees had a pretty decent game, has allowed the game to flow pretty nicely. So far, of course. Spurs collect the ball in the middle of play here, down the centre circle. That's well played there from Spurs. And it's Solanke. He's got support here through Son. He just runs out of space, and now West Ham are able to clear the ball here. Bowen on the ball. Goes past Kulusevski. Bowen is able to keep the ball. He's done really well there. Now finds support here from Emerson on the left of centre, inside West Ham's own half. Quick ball out to Rodriguez. Now to Debo. Now Soucek, the Czech international. Wan-Bissaka. Into the 42nd minute now. Plays the ball towards the left. Now over the halfway line into Spurs' own half. Nice ball from Emerson. Finds Paqueta. Paqueta coming under a lot of pressure there. Now Johnson wins the ball. He's done well there, the Welsh international. Now he's brought down. That's clearly a foul. And I think we're about to see our first booking of the game. Yep, first yellow card is dished out here. Looks as if it's gone to Paqueta. Yep, Lucas Paqueta with the first booking. Just it's nothing malicious, but it is clearly a cynical pull of the shirt there from Lucas Paqueta. So denies Spurs the chance of a quick counter-attack. So booking is shown to Paqueta. Now it's a lovely ball in across the face of goal there from the right wing. It just manages somehow to evade everyone in the penalty area. Son is able to pick up the ball before it goes over the touchline on this left flank. He plays the ball to Udogie. Now Madison could go for goal here from 30 yards out if he's feeling ambitious. Decides against it. Udogie now inside the penalty area. Ball across the face of goal, and it's blasted over the bar there from... Who was it there for Spurs? Pedro Porro. Absolutely hammered the ball there. Just inside the penalty area, but the ball flies over the bar. I think he had both feet in the air there as he actually launched the ball towards goal, but it sails over the bar. Bit of relief there for West Ham. They'll be wanting this half-time whistle to be blown because Spurs, well, have definitely had the better of the last 20 minutes of this first half. They've begun to play some good stuff, and they've certainly deserved that equaliser. Into the latter stages then of this first half, about 43.5 minutes played. Long ball from Areola. And the referee has given a free kick. I think it might actually be an offside there. Just over the halfway line. Either way, it's a free kick to West Ham. To Spurs. Taken short and quick by Romero to Van de Ven. Now Udogie plays the ball out left to Son. That's a very quick early ball from Son. That's decent. Finds Madison. Tries to go past his marker there. And Soucek clears the ball away, but it's going to be another corner to Spurs. I think this is their 12th of this game so far, and we've not even reached half-time yet. It's going to be Madison to take it. It's going to just take a little bit of time. No, it doesn't, sorry. Famous last words there. Plays it quick. Kulusevski, now to Bissouma. Porro. Oh, it's headed away, though, by West Ham defender. Now, Kudus tries to venture with the ball down from the centre of play to the right wing, just in front of the halfway line, but it's charged down by Bissouma. Should be finding out very, very soon how much stoppage time will be given by the fourth official. Don't think there'll be too much. The game has flowed pretty nicely. I'd guess at probably 2 minutes. Don't think there's any more needed than that. No substitutions, no injuries, no VAR checks, so shouldn't be too much stoppage. So in fact, there's only 1 minute here, but West Ham going on the counter here. Antonio, can he get space? Soucek manages to pick up the loose ball. Paqueta, with the outside of his foot, plays the ball in. It's an acrobatic effort there from Kudus. Very acrobatic, and it's eventually claimed and gathered by Vicario, who comes out about 15 yards from his goal line eventually to claim the ball. Now Spurs will go in a very quick counter. This will surely be the last bit of action here. Last chance here for a goal before the half-time whistle goes. Udogie goes down in the area, but the referee sees nothing in that and nothing given. About 20 seconds to go then. Bissouma plays the ball out to the right of centre. Porro plays the ball back short. Romero is about 35 yards away from the goal line. Lost the ball into the penalty area, and Son has some spaces inside the area. Can it be turned in? No, it can't. It's cleared away by West Ham, and now the half-time whistle goes. And I think Julien Lopetegui will be pretty relieved that the half-time whistle has gone, because that was a pretty strong end to the first half by Spurs after a bit of a slow start. So Mohamed Kudus gave West Ham the lead fairly early on for West Ham, but Tottenham managed to equalise though through Dejan Kulusevski, and at half-time it's 1-1. Here's Kudus scoring in the 19th minute, Kulusevski equalising in the 36th minute. And it's been quite a decent game here to watch as a neutral. It's flowed nicely. It's been pretty open and stretched as well. So we're going to take a break now while I just get my voice back. And we'll be back in around about 10 to 12 minutes. And we'll be back just before the start of the second half. So you're listening to Flash Score with Matthew Rhodes, and at half-time here in the Premier League, it's Tottenham Hotspur 1, West Ham United. substitution. So James Maddison has been replaced at the interval, and the Senegalese player Pape Matar Sarr has replaced him. So Sarr has replaced Maddison in Spurs' midfield. So we're now back underway. So West Ham kicking from right to left and Spurs kicking from left to right as I see it. So no changes from the Hammers, but there is one change for Tottenham Hotspur. So Maddison is off and Sarr has replaced him. So not sure if that's to do with an injury, perhaps an injury knock, or whether it is just a tactical switch there from Ange Postecoglou. But Maddison off and Sarr on as we start this second half, which is now underway. So Spurs kicking from left to right, both teams in their home strips here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Spurs already surging down very quickly down this right flank. Kulusevski will just collect the ball just before it goes over the byline. He plays the ball back here, but is cleared away by the West Ham defence, and then a very ambitious attempt there from Romero, I think it was, goes miles wide of the target. So just a minute of the way then into the second half. So no changes yet from the Hammers, just the one change for Spurs at the interval, with Sarr being introduced to the game in place of James Maddison. Goal kick taken by Areola. On ball from West Ham, just goes all the way to the opposing 18-yard area, straight into the hands of Vicario. Just got a West Ham player down here, so Jean-Claire Todibo. Just got clipped there on the foot by Dominic Solanke. Don't think it was anything intentional at all, but he did get caught, and it is a free kick to West Ham. It's going to be taken by the goalkeeper Areola, so he's gone a long way off his line, about 45 yards away from his line here. So West Ham pushing up already, well inside Spurs' own half, but Spurs deal with the free kick pretty comfortably. Ball goes out of play here. It'll be a throw into West Ham, taken quick and short all the way back to the defence here with Rodriguez, who's had a good game for the Hammers. Now to the right wing here with Bowen, finds support. Now Antonio finds support with Bowen once more. Can he get a delivery in here from this right flank? Bowen almost finds Antonio once again, but it's well defended there by Tottenham. Now appeals for a handball here, and the referee has given the free kick to West Ham. It's about 35 yards away down the centre, so surely too far away for West Ham to actually try and shoot from here. But it is a decent opportunity for West Ham to just flight the ball into the penalty area. Not really had many free kicks at all in this game, where we've had a free kick sort of in the centre of play around this area. So it is flighted in. Bowen just finds a little bit of space here, drags the ball square, but it's calmly moved out of the Tottenham defence here by the hosts. Emerson comes in with a sliding challenge and wins the ball, but it'll be collected once more by Spurs, this time with Kulusevski. Looks for support here. Porro tries to back heel it down the line for Kulusevski to collect, but it goes out of play. So it'll be West Ham's throw in here. It's going to be taken by Emerson. Taken short. Now down to the halfway line, all the way back to the centre of West Ham's defence here. Will be collected by Rodriguez. Now plays the ball down to the right flank. And West Ham attacking down this right flank inside Spurs' own half here. Oh, but it's not the best of touches. Far too much weight on that from Bowen. Not his best moments of this game. And that's a goal kick for Spurs to take as we move into the 50th minute of this game. So 1-1 here between Spurs and West Ham. Kudus gave West Ham the lead before Kulusevski equalised for the hosts. Of course, this is just the first of many Premier League games that we've got today. Just while we've got a slight break in play here, we'll just run through. Actually, we'll come back to that later. Just as it looks as if West Ham might have a chance to attack here, the referee has pulled the ball back, and it's going to be a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur inside their own half. Just a word on the 3 PM kickoffs then to come this afternoon. We've got Fulham versus Aston Villa which I'll also be commentating on as well for Flash Score. Ipswich Town versus Everton, Manchester United versus Brentford, Newcastle United versus Brighton and Hove Albion, and Southampton versus Leicester City. And at 5:30 UK time, AFC Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Back here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Bissouma displays the ball square to Romero. Now approaches the centre circle. Sarr came on at half-time for Maddison. Now Son delivers the ball in from the left flank, headed away by West Ham. Collected by Son once more. That's a lovely first touch. Has the ball again, just encroaches into the penalty area once more. Finds support from Udogie, who has a shot, and it takes a deflection. Big deflection off a West Ham defender. And it'll be another corner for Spurs. So a pattern that we saw frequently in the first half was the amount of Spurs corners. I think they had 12 by the end of the first half. So this is now their first of the second. It's going to be taken from their left flank. It'll be taken by Son, as Maddison is no longer in the pitch. So Son will take in swinger. Cleared away pretty well by West Ham's defence. Now Bowen picks the ball up just in front of the byline. He plays the ball long just to alleviate some of that pressure that they've had to soak up at the start of this second half. Romero just taking the ball out of the centre circle now, inside West Ham's own half. Sarr passes the ball out to Son. Has support. Passes the ball back to Sarr. Now to Romero. It's about 35 yards away from the goal line. Porro on this right flank. Back to Romero. Now Van der Ven. Finds support with Sarr. Son. Good possession here from Spurs. Now Udogie, just in front of the byline, inside the penalty area, and it's Son with a strike, and it's 2-1! It's 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur, and they've taken the lead here for the first time in the game, and it's Yves Bissouma with the shot on target that finds the back of the net. He found some space. It was lovely work from Udogie, and the ball ended up taking a deflection as it went towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's drilled in by Yves Bissouma, and it's 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur as they take the lead here in this game for the first time in this match. So Sarr played the ball out to Son onto the left flank. Lovely ball that found Udogie. He collected the ball just in front of the byline. He played the ball back a few yards, and up stepped Yves Bissouma into space. He drills the ball home from around 15 yards out, and Bissouma gives Spurs the lead here. And it's now Spurs 2, West Ham 1. And the goal came in the 52nd minute of the match. And Spurs have the lead. So Spurs now 2-1 up here in this all-London affair. And West Ham, who did take the lead, are now on the back foot. And they need to search for an equaliser. So it's Yves Bissouma with Spurs' second goal of the match in the 52nd minute, and Spurs have the lead for the first time in this game early on in this second half here. West Ham already looking for a quick equaliser. Kudus goes past one, goes past two. It's got space here. It decides to go for a shot in the end. He did have Wan-Bissaka coming through on the overlap. I think the best option would have been to have just waited another second and waited for him to enter the penalty area. It looks as if West Ham possibly about to bring on 3 substitutions here. In their first changes of the game, it looks as if 3 players are getting warmed up and getting kitted out. So if you've just tuned in to this live commentary coverage, it's now Spurs 2, West Ham 1. Yves Bissouma with an early second half goal for Spurs. And Tottenham now have the lead for the first time in this game. And they're looking for more. Kulusevski approaches the penalty area from this right flank here. Now Son has some space here. And does it go over the line? Yes, it does. It's 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. It's a very unfortunate goal by West Ham standards. And it's an awful goal to concede as well. I think it may be credited to Son Heung-min, but he certainly didn't get the last touch. It took a big deflection of a West Ham player before the ball just ran over the goal line there, and it's now 3-1 to Spurs, and all of a sudden Tottenham are now 2 goals in front here. It was a lovely ball to find Kulusevski. He cuts inside his man, plays the ball back to Son. Oh, and it comes off Areola first, before then deflecting off the West Ham defender. There's not really much he could do about that. That's just very unfortunate. So I think that it will have to go down as a Todibo own goal. Not really much he could do about that. And the ball just rolls ever so slowly, but it's further enough away from anyone else to roll over the line before anyone can reach. So it was Son with the strike, but I'm pretty certain it can't be credited as his goal, as it was saved initially by Areola, but the path of the ball then rebounded off Jean-Claire Todibo, and so it's an own goal in the 55th minute, and it's now Spurs 3, West Ham 1. And within the opening 10 minutes of the second half, Spurs, who started the second half on level terms, suddenly find themselves 2 goals clear. And I can tell you, by the way, that Thomas Souček has just received a booking. I can only assume it was for dissent. Oh, yeah, we're just having a look at the replay here on my monitor. He actually kind of drags a Tottenham player out of play. I think it was Brennan Johnson that was dragged out of play. Got to be honest, I think he's a little bit lucky he's only got a booking for that. Not too sure what brought that on, but it is a booking, so Thomas Souček now needs to be careful here. He's on a booking, but just if you've just tuned in, it's been a very fast and frantic start to this second half. It's now Spurs 3, West Ham United 1. So goals from Yves Bissouma, and then an unfortunate own goal from Jean-Claire Todibo. After an effort from Son was initially saved by Areola, but the path of the ball, it then deflected off Todibo, and the ball rolled ever so slowly over the goal line. Now West Ham have a lot of work to do if they're going to get a positive outcome from this game. It looks as if 3 West Ham players are about to come on the next time the ball goes out of play. West Ham now going down this left flank here. Have they been able to win a corner? Yes, they have. Kudus has done well to win that corner. But I think before this corner is taken, I think we're about to have a trio of West Ham substitutions. No, we're going to have the corner first before they come on. It's going to be Emerson to take the corner from this left-hand flank here. He's going to take it left-footed, so it looks as if it'll be an out-swinger. Comes into the 18-yard area. Dealt with well by Tottenham. Now a flighted delivery from West Ham, but it only goes towards Guglielmo Vicario. Now Spurs firmly in the driving seat here in the early stages of this second half. They're now 3-1 up here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against their London rivals. So I think the next time the ball goes out of play, we'll surely now see these West Ham substitutions. But again, if this is to be a defeat for West Ham, it puts the pressure back on Julian Lopetegui. Kudus, the ball about 50 yards over the halfway line, down this left flank here for West Ham. Kudus again. Finds Souček, who needs to be careful, he's on a booking. Now drifts the ball to the right-hand side here, Wan-Bissaka. Now West Ham plays the ball to the edge of the D, but then it's well covered by Romero. Now Tottenham can counter here through Kulusevski, but the loose ball is picked up well by West Ham. They need a response. Playing the ball down the middle here. And Bowen just runs out of space. That's well played by Sarr. Now very quickly, Tottenham could go on the counter here. Son playing the ball down the left-hand side. He now breaks into the penalty area. Can he go past his marker? He does. He finds the back of the net. And it's now 4-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. And Son Heung-min, the South Korean international, the Tottenham skipper, finds the back of the net. And that's surely now all of a sudden game, set and match for Spurs. They have absolutely destroyed West Ham in the opening 15 minutes of this second half. And West Ham, who were in the lead for around about 20 minutes of this game, now suddenly find themselves losing by a 3-goal margin here And it was a lovely ball from the substitute Sarr that exploits some holes in the West Ham defence. And Sarr manages to get some space. He manages to just wrong foot a West Ham defender there. It was Jean-Claire Todibo, who's had a torrid second half. He wrong foots Todibo, and it allows Son, with just enough space, to drill in an effort with his left foot. And it finds the back of the net. It beats Areola. And just as we reach the hour mark, it's suddenly Tottenham Hotspur 4, West Ham United 1. And I've got to be honest, at half-time I didn't see this coming. I knew Spurs ended the first half pretty strongly, but I couldn't have foreseen Spurs being 3 goals up inside the opening 15 minutes of this second half. And Son gets his first goal of the game. He'll certainly get the credit for that one. It was certainly a Todibo own goal. It has to be given as that for the third, but it's definitely Son's goal for the fourth in the South Korean international. And there could be more here. Spurs are looking for a fifth, and they could go for it here. Oh, is it the post? Is it the post? Just 30 seconds later, Son almost gets another goal. It hits the inside of the post. Postecoglou has both hands around his mouth here. I think just for a split second he was celebrating once more. Son from the edge of the penalty area. Oh, he hits the inside of the post. That's unfortunate for Spurs, but Spurs within millimetres, within centimetres of going 5-1 up. It is still 4-1. We've now got a trio of West Ham substitutions here. Soler, Somerville and Alvarez have come on. It's such a frantic start to this second half. Not even seen who's actually come off for West Ham. West Ham are now on the attack here. Played across the face of goal, and it's just defended by Spurs. But it is cleared off the line here by Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham are appealing for handball. We've got 3 West Ham players in front of the referee, pleading with the referee to say that came off the arm of a Tottenham player. And, well, it did. But the question is, was the arm in an unnatural position? It came off Udogi. And I'm sure it will be looked at, but the question is his arm in an unnatural position? So he's not far from the ball. He hasn't really got the time to move his arm away. So before this corner is taken, this will be what's being checked. It looks as if the VAR check is over and no penalty is being given. So the corner will now be taken. So it does come off Udogi's arm, but they'll have deemed it to be in a natural position, and that's why the penalty is not being given. Corner comes in here. Now it's headed away by Tottenham. Frantic start to this second half here. It's 4-1 to Spurs. We were millimetres away from it being 5-1 to Spurs. Son almost scoring 2 goals within 60 seconds. And West Ham are very, very much on the ropes here. They've pretty much been dealt surely a knockout blow from that 4th goal. That 5th goal certainly would have been it. So I'm just trying to get confirmation of the West Ham substitutes here. It's just been such a frantic start to this second half. It's been pretty crazy. Let's just get a rundown of the actual substitutions. So just to confirm, Paqueta, Soucek and Antonio have been replaced. Alvarez, Soler and Somerville have come on. So that is the trio of substitutions there for West Ham on the hour mark. But it's been a nightmare start to the second half for Julien Lopetegui and for West Ham and their supporters. They are now 3 goals down with 27 minutes left to play here. Crazy start to this second half. West Ham just playing the ball back to Areola. Lofts the ball to his right-hand side. That's not the best of balls there, and it's picked up by Porro. Porro will play the ball down the right of Spurs, finding more space here. Kulusevski curls the ball in, and it just sails wide of the target. It's another chance here for Spurs, and there's a lot of holes now in this West Ham defence that Spurs are exploiting and damaging the Hammers here. 3 quick-fire goals from the start of this second half, almost 4. So if you've just tuned in, we've missed a frantic start to the second half. It's Spurs 4, West Ham 1. Son with the latest goal and came so close to adding a fifth for Spurs, only literally about 60 seconds afterwards, straight from kickoff. Now West Ham trying to break into the penalty area here through one of their substitutes here, number 7, Somerville, just breaking into the penalty area, but ran out of space, and Tottenham won the loose ball. So Spurs now in a commanding position after being 1-0 down in this game. We're losing for around about 20 minutes of this game as well. Coming up to the 66th minute now then, just got another break in play. We are now back on here. Throw in to be taken by Porro. Goes all the way back to Romero. Now Vicario. To Sarr. He's done a good job for Spurs since coming on. And Spurs looking to break down this right-hand side, but Brennan Johnson has been ruled as offside. West Ham play the free kick quick. Must be wondering what on earth has happened to them at the start of this second half. They've just been torn to shreds here by these lightning-fast Spurs counter-attacks. West Ham looking for an opening back into this game. An effort from Kudus from 22 yards out is instantly blocked, and now there's more holes here in the West Ham defence. Brennan Johnson, can he take advantage? He's still got the ball here. He could play it in here for the number 22. It's pumped away by the goalkeeper, and it almost falls back to Dominic Solanke, and Tottenham come within inches again of almost going 5-1 up. It was a good save from Areola, but he palmed the ball away, and luckily for the goalkeeper, the West Ham defender was just able to win the ball ahead of Solanke and prevent him from scoring a very, very easy rebound tap-in. So Spurs have now come twice from coming so close to going 5-1 up, and Spurs have just torn West Ham apart in this second half. They ended the first half strongly, but it's gone up another gear in the second half, and West Ham's defence is seriously struggling, and you can only see Tottenham extending their lead here. It's another booking for West Ham. Soler has picked up a booking here only about 5 minutes after coming on. So the number 4, Carlos Soler, now receives a booking, and you can tell the Hammers are getting frustrated. Now it looks as if Timo Werner is going to come on shortly for Spurs. It looks as if Mavropanos is going to be coming on for West Ham as well. So it looks as if we're going to have one substitution each from both sides to come up soon. Sarr just plays the ball back to Van der Ven, and then all the way back to Vicario, who's now wearing a cap with this low-lying sun just shining just above the stadium. Now Van der Ven plays the ball over the halfway line. Son, or they're exploiting more holes here down this West Ham defence. Now Tottenham playing the ball from the left into the left centre. That's a good challenge there from Wan-Bissaka. That was better from West Ham. Now Wan-Bissaka gaining about 10 yards. Plays the ball out right here to Kudus. Now plays the ball back to Wan-Bissaka. Oh, that's a poor ball in the end, though, from the former Manchester United player. Now Spurs can counter, and they've been lethal on this counter in the second half. West Ham have just had no response to it. Now Spurs just slowing down the tempo just a little bit, just ever so slightly. Knocking the ball back to the keeper here. Looks as if the next time the ball goes out of play, we're going to have one substitution each for both teams. Spurs now playing the ball to the middle. Not best of first touches there from Sarr, but is able to force the ball back for Spurs. Now they gain possession once more. Son to Udogi. Van der Ven to Romero. Now Bissouma just being knocked down to the ground there by the West Ham 4, Soler. He's got to be careful, Soler. He's already on a booking. And now, with that free kick being awarded, we're going to see these substitutions. So Timo Werner is coming on for Spurs, the number 16, the German international and former Chelsea player. So we'll just see who he's going to come on for. And he's going to come on for Son Heung-min. So the Tottenham skipper is going to be coming off. He's had a good game, particularly in the second half. And he's going to give the captain's armband to Christian Romero. So Romero will now be captain for the rest of this game for Spurs. And Son Heung-min will be coming off. And Timo Werner is going to come on for him for these last 20 minutes plus stoppage time. And we'll just see who's going to be coming off for West Ham for Mavropanos to come on. Should be getting confirmation any time now here as we go over the 70th minute, and Rodriguez has gone off, so I think a slight change in shape there. So Rodriguez off and Mavropanos on for West Ham in the 70th minute here. Perhaps with Tottenham now in a very comfortable position, perhaps Postecoglou realising it could be an opportunity for Timo Werner to hopefully get some confidence and get back on the score sheet. And again, Tottenham getting into a good position there with Porro breaking into the penalty area, but for some reason I think decided to try and shoot instead of squaring the ball across the face of goal, and the shot goes horribly wide of the target. But I guess they can afford to do that now at this stage. They are now 4-1 up, and it's a concerned look on the face of West Ham manager Julien Lopetegui, who has had a tough start as the Hammers manager in this game. Unless something miraculous happens in the latter stages of this match, won't do much to help that. Tottenham clear the ball away from the right-hand side of defence. Tries to find Solanke. Holds the ball up well. Knocks the ball back to Sarr. Werner, with his first touch of the ball here, goes past one. Almost finds Sarr again, but just unable to reach it, does the Senegalese international. Now West Ham suddenly are able to find a lot of space here down this right flank. Kudus passes the ball out to the centre of play here. And now Bowen plays the ball square. This is a bit better from West Ham. Soler back to Kudus. He can't quite get the ball out from underneath his feet, and that allows time for Tottenham to recover slightly. Does Kudus go for goal? He does. Oh, and it's just palmed away by Vicario. I think the ball just bounces just in front of him, and with the sunlight, that low-lying sunlight right in his eyes, that I think was a bit more difficult than what it initially looked there for Vicario, but he's able to palm the ball away. Now to the centre of midfield, Soler. Now to Kilman. Now Emerson on this left flank here. It's really, really tough. Even in front of me, it's quite hard to see with the blinding light inside the Tottenham zone penalty area. It's really low-lying sun that's causing a lot of problems there. Now into the 73rd minute of the game, and well, what a second half it's been. It's been frantic to say the least, and West Ham have simply been ripped apart here by Tottenham, who have absolutely clicked in this second half and have just decimated West Ham, to be honest, in the second half. It's going to need something pretty miraculous if West Ham are going to come back from this. West Ham just playing the ball out from the back here. Now playing the ball out to the right flank, about 10 yards over the halfway line. Now to Soler. Quick 1-2 with Kudus. Back to Soler. Now drifts the ball out to the left flank. It's a bit better from West Ham. Emerson just brings the ball ever so slightly forward. Now plays the ball into the penalty area. Now being forced back out by the number 17 Romero, who's now the skipper. Now that Son Heung-min has been replaced. And West Ham have won a corner here on this left-hand side. It's going to be Emerson to take as we now approach the 74th minute of the game. This is West Ham's 5th corner in comparison to Spurs' 13. But weirdly, Spurs haven't really threatened all that much with the corners. So many of them came in the first half. It's been on the counter-attacks where Spurs have really damaged and hurt West Ham. Goes out to West Ham's defence. Corner goes to nothing, really. And West Ham playing the ball down the middle. Wan-Bissaka plays the ball out to the right here. Finds Kudus. Plays a 1-2. Wan-Bissaka just finds himself with a little bit of space. Back to Kudus again. Turns one player. Now drifts the ball over onto the left flank. Looks to find Emerson. Does well to find him there. Now plays the ball square. Panos goes past one. That's better. Oh, that's well won though. It's slid in by Pedro Porro. It's had a good game for Spurs. And he's able to clear the ball away. So it's going to be a throw in to West Ham. Time running out here. We're into the 75th minute. Barring something pretty incredible, Spurs are on their way towards securing 3 points and putting that defeat against Brighton a few days ago to bed before that international break, where they surrendered a 2-0 lead and ended up losing 3-2. You can tell how much that defeat really hurt manager Ange Postecoglou. Again, it's another very concerned look on the face of Julien Lopetegui, and we can actually see here through the monitors quite a few West Ham supporters already leaving the stadium. Any hopes of them getting a positive result they seem to have lost all faith of. It's just slowed down a little bit now after those last few substitutions. Although, as I say that, Dominic Solanke now suddenly breaks into space here, and he manages to find the Tottenham 22, and it's just cleared away initially by Kilman, but it's won by Kulusevski on this right flank. Drags the ball back. Porro plays the ball in, finds Werner in space here. Oh, and it just flashes across the face of goal. Tottenham keep the ball in. Kulusevski looks to go past one, runs out to space though, and West Ham clear the ball, but Werner, I think he did the right thing there, heading the ball across the face of goal, and he was unlucky not to find another Spurs player with that. Now West Ham will go on the counter. Kudus. Wan-Bissaka. Now Kudus again on the right flank. I'd say Kudus has been West Ham's best player of the game for me. This won though by Spurs on the centre, and now they'll play the ball out through the right of centre. Kulusevski, I think if we're looking at the actual man of the match across both teams, I think that's your man right there. Kulusevski, I think, has been excellent today for Tottenham. Really, really good. Not just in the second half, but I think he was also their best player just when it comes to the first half as well. A lot of Spurs' creative outlet and danger caused has come from him. Now Spurs have really dropped the tempo here, and I think they know the game is won, and they're now just killing this game off here. Just playing the ball back to Vicario. You can just tell it's really, really dropped. Just in terms of possession, by the way, for the opening 75 minutes of the game, it's 56-44 in favour of the hosts. Now just with the right-hand side of Spurs' defence, so now that's well won by Kulusevski. Just runs out of space after a deflection there, very short deflection by Kilman. Throw in for Spurs. Quick laugh and a joke with the referee. Well, by the way, I must say, because I know referees come under so much criticism, I think the referees had a good game today. I don't think there's been any issues at all with what he's done. Bit of possible VAR flashpoint when the ball did actually come off the arm of, I'm trying to remember who it was now, I think it was Destiny Udogie. But I think because his arm was in a natural position, there was no way he could remove his arm from touching the ball. That's why a penalty wasn't given. West Ham have just won a throw-in actually after a little bit sloppy play there from Guillermo Vicario. Almost actually lost the ball out to a West Ham attacker, and he has to play the ball out for a throw-in just to get rid of the danger, but nothing comes of the throw-in. So the tempo has just dropped quite a bit here, it has to be said. So just a reminder of the 3 p.m. games coming up, and they're all being provided by Flash Goal Commentary as well. So I'm back after about a 20-minute break for me to grab a glass of water. Fulham versus Aston Villa, I'll be providing commentary of that as well. Also, at 3 p.m, we've got commentary of Ipswich Town versus Everton, Manchester United versus Brentford, Newcastle United versus Brighton and Hove Albion, and Southampton versus Leicester City. And also for the 5:30 kickoff, which is AFC Bournemouth against title contenders Arsenal. It's also a big game, by the way, in the Scottish Premiership. And no, it's not Celtic Rangers. Celtic versus Aberdeen. Aberdeen have had a brilliant start to the season. Now, how long it can last and whether they can actually mount a title challenge, that remains to be seen. But a win for Aberdeen at Celtic would certainly gain a lot of attention. So that's a very big game in Scotland this afternoon. 3 p.m. kickoff, Celtic against Aberdeen at Celtic Park. Back here though, as more West Ham supporters leave the stadium, looks as if Richarlison is going to be coming on for Spurs, as the tempo has really just gone down quite a few notches. I think both teams know what the outcome of this game is going to be here. So it looks as if Dominic Solanke is going to be coming off and Richarlison is going to be coming on. So Solanke coming off in the 81st minute and Richarlison coming on. Looks as if another Spurs player is going to be coming on soon. So it looks as if we've got a double change here for Spurs for their 3rd and 4th substitutions of the game. So Richarlison on, the Brazilian international. We'll just see what this next substitution is as well. So Solanke off and Richarlison on, and Bissouma has gone off, and Rodrigo Bentancur of Uruguay has come on. So Bissouma off, who scored Spurs' 2nd goal of the game. He's replaced by Rodrigo Bentancur with the number 30 shirt. So now go into the 82nd minute, and I think this has certainly been the slowest tempo of the game so far, just in this past 5 minutes, with the outcome of the game pretty much nailed on certain now to be a Spurs victory. I think for West Ham it's now just a case of trying to limit the damage, because they came, well, extremely close on 2 separate occasions to actually going 5-1 down. Almost conceding the 5th, literally about 60 seconds after conceding the 4th. The defence just went into complete meltdown. Now West Ham just sharing the ball between their defence here. Just to the right side of defence, playing the ball over the halfway line now. Now drifting the ball towards the left-hand side to Emerson. Gains about 5 yards, bit of a heavy ball though. Attempted there, and but West Ham have just been able to win the loose ball. That's well won by Van de Ven. He's then bundled to the ground. Oh no, there's a bit of pushing and shoving here, and now a few players are gone down to the ground. We've got Van de Ven down, we've got Richarlison down, and we've got quite a few players here from both sides really pushing into and shoving into each other here. We need a replay here, but it looks as if when Van de Ven was bundled down, there was then, not sure if there was then some contact from a West Ham player while Van de Ven was down on the turf, whether there wasn't really much attempt to avoid standing on the Tottenham player, and then Richarlison was bundled down to the turf as well, with a coming together between quite a few players from both teams, and all of a sudden the referees had a fairly quiet game by Premier League referee standards. He has quite a big task on his hands here. Let's have a look at the first replay I've got. Oh, that's, well, from what I can see, I think I still need a better angle, but I think there's a little kick there from Kudus. Oh, and then he brings his hands towards Van de Ven, and then Richarlison gets bundled down. And looks as if the yellow card is coming out, but I've got to say, I'm really surprised that this isn't going to be a red card. It looks as if Kudus is going to be shown a yellow, but I'm surprised. I thought that was a red card offence there, because there is a little kick, and I think he did mean that to Van de Ven while he was on the ground, and he then shoves Van de Ven away with his hand. You're not allowed to raise your hand. So I've got to say, I'm surprised at that. I thought that should have been a red card there for Mohamed Kudus. And Van de Ven is also shown a yellow card as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty surprised he's actually escaped Kudus, and it's also, when we're looking at another replay, he also brings his hand forward to Sarr as well. So that's on two separate occasions that Kudus has raised his hand to, well, it's not a slap, but he's raised his hand to shove the player away, but he's using his hand to shove the face of the player away. And now VAR are looking into this, and I'm amazed they've not been looking into this earlier officially, because it clearly should be a red card here, because on two separate occasions, Kudus has shoved the player away by raising his hands to the face of a player. He did it once, and then he did it a second time, and the second time was to the substitute, Pape Matar Sarr. So, I'm just going to see what the referee is deciding. Now, it looks as if the referee is going to go over to his monitor here, and I'm pretty certain we are about to see a red card being shown for Mohamed Kudus. Because not once but twice, he raises his hands to shove away a player. I think that could be deemed as a hit to Van de Ven, rather than even as just a shove. It has to be a red card. And, to be honest, I'm staggered. The referee only gave a yellow initially. I mean, this is actually, certainly an example where VAR is surely about to step in and make the right call here. So the referee looks as if he's made his decision. What's he given here? The yellow card goes down. The red card goes up. So eventually the correct decision is made. Mohamed Kudus is shown a red card, and things go from bad to worse for Julien Lopetegui. And the irony is that he's probably been West Ham's best player in this game. He's been one of the few bright spots in this game for West Ham United. Now Kudus is shown a red card, a straight red card, so that's going to be a suspension as well for him. As I say, things just going from bad to worse here for the Hammers. This is an afternoon that they're just going to want to forget, and he goes straight down the tunnel, takes the shirt off. He knows he's messed up. I don't think he needs anyone else to tell him that. And he goes down to the changing rooms earlier than expected. So that's eaten up probably about 3 or 4 minutes time, so we probably are going to have quite a bit of stoppage time. Spurs, I think, are just about to bring on another substitution, so I think this should be their last one of the game. Udogie is coming off, and Gray is coming on. So Archie Gray is going to be coming on, the number 14, to make a late cameo appearance here as Spurs are comfortably 4-1 up. They're surely heading towards the 3 points. They're also a man up as well, now that Mohamed Kudus has been sent off. And Spurs completely in control of this game. We'll be looking to rub further salt into the wounds. Werner tries to thread a through ball there to Sarr. It's been really good, actually, since coming on. I've been impressed with Pape Matar Sarr. Now West Ham going on the counter here. Of course, it's just a case of damage limitation for them. Just a reminder, by the way, in all that maybe melee is a bit strong, but coming together of a few players. Spurs playing the ball out now as we now enter the 89th minute. It's a late challenge there from a West Ham player. You can just tell the West Ham players just want this game done with. They know it's gone. They just want the final whistle here. So Spurs have won a free kick well inside their own half here on the right flank. And they're going to take their time with this. So you can tell the tempo of the game just has really, really dropped here. We all know what the outcome of this game now is. And it's just a case of damage limitation for Julien Lopetegui's side here. this is a good response from Spurs after the international break, after the terrible manner of that defeat against Brighton. And this is a very welcome 3 points for Ange Postecoglou's side. So, back now in progress after that free kick. Bentancur, about just under a minute away from finding out how much stoppage time there is going to be in this match. Romero, now to Bentancur. Sarr passes the ball out to Werner, who came on for Son about 15 minutes ago. Bentancur plays the ball square. Now Romero, about 35 yards away from goal, goes for a threaded through ball down the middle. Good attempt, but ultimately doesn't find anyone at the end of it, so it's going to be a goal kick to be taken by Alphonse Areola. And you can tell everyone's just sort of just waiting for this game to end now. It is a welcome victory for Spurs. Just the last question now, just how much stoppage time is there going to be? There'll probably be quite a bit after that VAR delay in terms of the eventual red card that was shown to Mohamed Kudus. So 7 minutes. So I guess all that's left to ask now is whether West Ham can get a consolation goal or whether Spurs can put the icing on the cake, so to speak. Spurs with the ball here on the left side of defence with Gray. Now Richarlison just letting the ball come through to Bentancur. Now Richarlison playing the ball to Werner. Oh, it's a poor first touch from Werner. He's unable to keep the ball in. Just seen footage of Lord Alan Sugar there. Former chairman, of course, of Tottenham Hotspur in the early to mid-90s. He'll be happy with what he's seeing this afternoon. So first minute elapsed then of these 7 minutes of injury time. Long throw-in taken by West Ham. Immediately won back by Spurs. Richarlison, that's not the best of pass backs. Now West Ham can counter here down this right flank. Tries to set up the West Ham 7 here, just on this right flank, and they'll try to look at least win a corner through Crescencio Somerville. He's been lively since coming on, but is understandably he's not really received a massive amount of support. Just seeing Karen Brady also in the stands, not looking as happy as Lord Sugar. Understandably so. So with the tempo really dying down in this game, West Ham still gamely going about their business, just trying to see if they can at least limit the damage and get another goal back. Searching ball in from the right flank and almost finds Emerson. Doesn't quite reach him though, and the ball will go out harmlessly for a goal kick for Vicario to take here. Gray, now to Van de Ven, who's on a booking. 2.5 minutes of the way through this 7 minutes of stoppage time. Really long ball here, almost finds Richarlison, and Areola takes a gamble, but the gamble pays off. He goes well off his line to volley the ball away. Now the ball has gone out for a throw-in here for West Ham on the halfway line. We've just been confirmed, by the way, on our monitor that the Player of the Match award has been given to Dejan Kulusevski, and I'd certainly agree with that. He's been my Player of the Match too. I think he's had a fantastic game, and he's had a really good season as well so far for the Swedishman. I think he's been excellent. So even when things weren't quite going so well in the first half of Spurs, I thought he was still certainly at least the best player on the pitch for the hosts. West Ham just being pegged back here with their defence, but playing the ball quite smartly out from the back, and that's certainly a foul committed there on the number 4, Soler, by Pape Matar Sarr. Plays the ball back square to the goalkeeper, and that's just kept in play by Wan-Bissaka, as well to keep the ball as well. Gambling a bit here, though, because he's about to lose the ball to the Spurs forward line. But the second West Ham defender is just able to clear the ball away. And now Emerson, I think his arm has just catched the Tottenham player there. It's just caught a Tottenham player. I think it's Pedro Porro who just got caught there by Emerson. Don't think that was intentional. It's just accidentally caught him there. And to be fair, Pedro Porro has just got straight up. He's not really made the most of it. The damage has been done to West Ham. So it's going to be a free kick on the right of centre inside West Ham's own half, but it's still about 40 yards away, so no chance that it's going to be struck at goal. Taken short by Bentancur, then to Sarr, Gray. Now to Bentancur again. Now Porro. Back over the halfway line. Romero plays the ball outright to Porro. Back to Romero again. Just about 2.5 minutes to go here. And Spurs now just very calmly playing the ball between them through the defence. Just over 2 minutes to go then of stoppage time. This match has been killed off by Spurs and has been for, well, at least about half an hour, to be honest with you, ever since that fourth goal went in by Son Heung-min. Werner just coming under some pressure there from Wan-Bissaka. It's still a throw in to Spurs, just about 5 yards behind the halfway line on the left flank. Wan-Bissaka, certainly a lot of effort shown from Wan-Bissaka, but all to no avail. Tottenham have just decimated West Ham in the opening 15 minutes of the second half of this game. An attempted backheel pass from Richarlison almost pays off, but West Ham's defence are able to clear the ball, but Richarlison wins the ball back. He's looked lively since coming on. Plays the ball down the right flank, finds Kulusevski. Plays the ball square to Richarlison. Richarlison goes down, and the referee is given a free kick. So just a minute to go then. So last chance for Spurs to add a further goal here to rub further salt into the wounds. It's going to be about 30 yards away from the right of centre. I'm sure this will be aimed into the mixer and around where the penalty spot is, or maybe even to the edge of the 6-yard area. But it's been a game ultimately in the end, eventually, that Spurs have cruised through after a slow start. And of course, let's not forget, West Ham were in the lead of this game for around about 15 to 20 minutes. Just waiting for the free kick to come in now then. Porro takes with his right foot. It's a glancing header. And it goes about 5 yards wide of goal though, and pretty certain that will be the last chance of the game. Comes off Brennan Johnson last, but he just can't quite get the space to steer his header on target. Now Timo Werner plays the ball across the face of goal. It's cleared away by Jean-Claire Todibo. And that is it. So that is the full-time whistle, though in the end, a very comfortable victory for Tottenham Hotspur and a concerning defeat for West Ham United on their travels. That win over Ipswich Town alleviated some pressure on the manager, Julien Lopetegui, but that pressure is back on once again after a humbling defeat in this London derby. So, in the end, Tottenham Hotspur 4, West Ham United 1. So Tottenham, in terms of the Premier League